they're going to be more exposed to what? Leptospirosis. They're going to be a little bit more dumb, with age. You hope that you get wiser. So they're going to drink the ethylene glycol sooner. And then congenital causes. Well, the older animal would be more like, hey, I got cancer, or I'm degenerating from acute to chronic renal failure with time. So as far as the breed chart on page 3, I think I circled four breeds that I think are pretty classic. The Basenji with Fanconi syndrome, that's pretty classic. You should know that. Just memorize it. Because now we may ask you. The Abyssinian cat with amyloidosis, yes. Persian cat with polycystic kidney disease and 2,100 more other problems I'm not going to go into. And the Shar-Pei with amyloidosis. So those 4. Everything else you don't have to remember, at least from my end. Yeah, so the Abyssinian cat, amyloidosis, Basenji, Fanconi syndrome, Persian, polycystic kidney, and Shar-Pei, amyloidosis too. This is fairly common that I see. And they're usually young animals and they have messed up kidneys and azotemia. So physical exam. Is weight loss more common with acute or chronic? Chronic, right? Chronic with acute. You don't have enough time to lose weight. But with chronic, you start kind of flying into cachexia, right? Because you're not retaining a lot of protein. Oral cavity, I said, you look for uremic stomatitis, which is basically a fancy word for ulcers in the mouth and in the gums. And you look for pale mucous membranes, evidence of anemia, right, which is chronic. Abdominal palpation. Good luck with that. That's an art. You should feel a lot of belly to get comfortable. But basically, you're trying to track down or trace down this chart. You're going from the bladder, assessing the bladder, and then assessing the kidney, realizing that this is actually standing from the top, so the right kidney will be further forward than the back, than the left kidney. Left lags. Left is more caudal. Right one gets stuck into the fossa of the liver. But in a cat, I would say, like practice in a cat, because they have very easy to palpate kidneys and bladder. And then we do a rectal exam. Well, we can feel the distal urethra. In a male, you can feel the prostate. But also you can look at the stools and see if you have melena, right? Evidence of GI bleed associated with uremia. Ophthalmic exam. If you have acute, even chronic renal failure, there's a good chance that you're hypertensive. If you're hypertensive, there's a good chance that you have blindness, acute onset blindness, right? So you should look and do a retinal exam. Not uncommon for kiddies to come in with blindness as the first presentation of acute renal or chronic renal failure. The article I gave you, I don't think he's seeing too well, he's bumping into things. And then you check the VUN and creatinine is elevated. You check their Doppler blood pressure and it's 220. And it's because the kidneys failed and they get hypertensive and they get retinal hemorrhage. By the way, is that reversible or not? Who's going there? No, the retinal hemorrhage. Like the blind. That blindness is reversible. If you get their blood pressure lower, like if you manage that part, yeah, kidney failure is not reversible, but if you manage hypertension, then you manage they get vision again, which is really cool. All right. Any questions with that? We're really going to have that slide so you know where the heck BUN comes from. As I said, when we start talking about markers for renal failure or trying to determine where the heck is this azotemia coming from, we don't have very good testing. But I'll break it down into 2 big categories. You're trying to somehow determine the GFR of a patient, i.e. you're focusing on the filter, i.e. you're at the glomerulus, okay? And there's certain tests that assess for that. And the second part would be to assess the tubules. Right? So you cannot split the kidney into GFR assessment and tubular assessment. Okay? So to give you an example, if you check a BUN of creatinine, what does that check? The tubules or the glomeruli? GFR. If you're checking a specific gravity, is that assessing the glomerulus or the tubules? The tubules. So you have to do both. Make sense? You can use the prop and you need to memorize it, but it kind of makes sense when you think about it. So now I'm going to work with things that measure GFR. Let's flip the page into page 4, BUN. 75% of renal function must be lost before this marker goes off in your blood. 75%. So if one kidney holds 50% of the load and the other kidney holds 50%, both of them have to be cropped out so that the total function has to be less than 75 before you see an elevation from normal. This is a very, excuse my language, but very crappy test, right? But it is what we have. So how do you get elevations in BUN? Well, you get production of BUN from ammonia that you have in your GI, and then it gets absorbed by the portal vein, and then in the liver you get this urea cycle, where you get that ammonia converted to urea, then it gets excreted, because BUN is a water-soluble compound through the kidneys. So it's a marker. It's a marker. It has nothing to do with identifying a problem in the kidney itself. It's just a marker that we can use to tell us this side of the equation. How much urea are we excreting? And hey, if you look at the diagram, it could be affected by how well your liver is working at making BUN in the first place. All right, so these are all markers and they have their pros and cons. So we're using this marker to identify GFR. GFR is urea excretion, the last part of that pathway. But we could have issues with liver synthesis of urea in the first place. So it's not the best measurement, but it's okay, and it's what we got. All right, so for example, if we have increased BUN, what could that be due to? I kind of alluded to this. Well, you have decreased excretion. Yep. Why do you have decreased excretion? Because maybe you don't have enough blood flow, right? Pre-renal causes. Or maybe your kidney is not working great, so you have less excretion, so intrarenal causes. But also because your liver is synthesizing more BUN. Irrespective of how well your kidney is excreting it, your liver is pumping out a lot of urea of BUN. How is that? You ate a lot of meat, or you ingested blood. What about decreased BUN production? Your liver is failing. You don't make urea. It stays up as ammonia. So a shunt dog, a young human shunt, will have a lot of ammonia in their blood because they can't make urea. And ammonia is very toxic. It makes you trip. So then you get encephalopathy. But the bottom line is the BUN is low in those patients. Okay? And it's not because the kidney is working overtime and excreting it. It's just not making it. So that's kind of like the summary of that part B1 for BUN. One last thing, you can have elevations of BUN and normal creatinine. How could that be? I'll tell you why. So you have a BUN of, let's say the normal would be 24, right? Up to 24, and you have a BUN in this patient of 40. But the creatinine is still under normal limits. So you have an elevated BUN to creatinine ratio. BUN, unfortunately, will get excreted, as I showed you earlier, right, into the tubules. But 50% can be reabsorbed back into the blood. So it's not a compound that just goes one way into the urine. It can get reabsorbed. And this percentage of reabsorption increases the more dehydrated you are. Because your urine flow in the tubules will be slower, so there's more chance of reabsorbing it. And that's why they say, well, if you have a high BUN and a normal creatinine, you're more likely to have pre-renal isotemia. That's where it's coming from. You have slower GFR, but the kidney is fine, it's doing what it should, it's reabsorbing more. Creatinine is just a one-way track. Creatinine doesn't get reabsorbed. So that's why creatinine is a better marker for kidney function than BUN. It will be, it will always be. So if I have one test for renal function, I will always choose creatinine, okay? Because creatinine doesn't undergo this absorption here at the proximal tubule. So creatinine, let's jump into it. Again, 75% of renal function must be lost before you see an increase. And for the most part, you don't get reabsorption, so once it gets excreted in the urine, or in the tubules, it doesn't get, or it gets filtered in the tubules, it doesn't get reabsorbed. So it's a more specific assessment. This is the diagram to show you where creatinine is coming from. It's coming from your muscle. In the way of creatinine, it's a breakdown product of phosphocreatinine. And then it undergoes this cycling into creatine, and then into the blood, and then it gets excreted in the urine. So I have a patient right now in the ICU who's very cachectic, and he's a PCS